Planning and Development Authority of Grenada, PDA, is enforcing regulations to curb illegal, disorderly, and unauthorized development in several locations throughout the state of Grenada. The authority is concerned that structures mainly associated with vending are negatively impacting the environment, has undesirable public health and sanitation consequences, present obstructions to vehicle and pedestrian traffic, can become projectiles during adverse weather conditions, and generally affect the aesthetics of the nation. The PDA will work along with stakeholder ministries and institutions to effect the demolition, removal, and disposal of structures which fall in the category of illegal and disorderly development, commencing January 2024. In this regard, persons who vend in or occupy such illegal structures are advised to secure their personal belongings and have the structures removed ahead of the planned PDA demolition operations. These actions of the PDA have become necessary to safeguard and protect public health and the environment, ensure the safety and well-being of all citizens and visitors, discourage any future disorderly construction, and encourage compliance to regulations pertaining to physical development in the state of Grenada. This is a message from the Planning and Development Authority of Grenada.
Special privilege of sampling the Golden Jubilee edition of the limited edition spice rum from the Grenada distillers, and I must say it's something that you should try. It is authentically Grenadian, but from the flavors to the aromas to the overall taste, the blend is great. It's light, it's golden like the Golden Jubilee, and I think you can make any collector's shelves anywhere in the world. Hats off to the Grenada distillers.
Yeah! Whoa! I am back! Yeah, man. Welcome to RideAlong Live for today. Happy to be back in the air chair. How you doing? Everybody doing? Lacey to the J. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. I know a lot of people was asking me all along, but every day they see me, yo, when you're going back, oh Lord, yeah. Don't get used to it, because I would be out of this chair again in a couple weeks and back down in Grenada. All right? Guys, once again, welcome back to RideAlong Live. It is the Tuesday edition of RideAlong Live. Good night, riders. Monica, Lydia, how are you? Did you miss me? You guys miss me? Nah, not so much. Not so much. You're inside. All right. Let me make sure I share up this program, because this program is important. So I want everybody to tag somebody. Right now. It's that important. Because this mother is about to share a story that she witnessed with her own two eyes. Her own two eyes. She saw it right in front of her face. Her son being brutalized. You could just imagine, right? Let me go ahead and share this program a little bit. Yeah, tag a few friends, guys. Tag a few friends. Let me do it here as well. I gotta tag a few friends. Let them know. I want everybody to see this. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah. Tag somebody, guys. Tag somebody quick. Tag somebody quick. Yeah. Berlin, how you doing? Thank you so much. Thanks for sharing and thanks for tagging. Kiki, how you doing? Tag everybody. I want everybody to see this. And that's the only how we could, let it reach into the inbox of people who could make a difference. Dave Bertrand, thank you so much. Appreciate you. You do that when you tag and you invite. That's how it gets around. Good night, good night, good night, good night. I'm tagging like I never tagged before, guys. Yeah, I'm tagging like I never tagged before. Dave, how you doing? Thank you so much. There we go. Good night, Lydia. Good night, riders. All right, guys, so let's go right into it. This mother, she is no stranger to the ride. In fact, about 4 years ago, she was on the program. That particular instant, she was speaking about her son being bullied at school. I believe, if memory serves me right, it was something along those lines with her son. Well, she's back again, and this time she witnessed her son being beaten by the police. Let's get this mother on because this is one of the big conversation happening right now. Let's bring her on live right now. Mom, are you there?
Yes, Junior, I'm here.
All right. Her name is Candice, and Candice is currently in Trinidad and Tobago. Candice, I know this is difficult for you. I know it would be hard to hold it together because you witnessed this, you saw this, and you can't unsee things like that. It's your son, right? But before we start, Candice, just tell us a little bit about you. Tell us a little bit about your son and what part of Trinidad and Tobago are you from?
Junior, I'm from Sandy Grande in Trinidad, Northeastern Settlement.
Eastern Settlement, right? And I was telling our viewers that you've been on the program before. I remember years ago. It have to be more than 5 years. It have to be no more than 5 years ago, when you were speaking about your son being abused and stuff and called names in school. Is that the same son we're talking about?
Yes, Junior, the same son.
Wow. Okay. Look at that. All right. So, Candice, help us understand. Take us back from the beginning. What transpired?
All right, Junior. So the Thursday before Carnival, right? You know, we celebrate Carnival in Trinidad, right?
Right.
So somebody sent me one of the young man that was on the spot where the incident took place between my son and the police officers and them. They sent me a video showing me where he was sitting and amongst two friends, and the officers and them stopped and they called him out, right? So he willingly went to them. They got out of the vehicle and they started searching him, asking him his name and where he was from.
Right.
Right? So he told them that. I saw all that in the video. And when they were finishing interrogating him, one of the officers took out his phone and took a picture of him.
Right.
Right?
So hold on. Sorry, Candice. Not to stop your train of thought. So I'm rolling piece of the video right now, right? So we're seeing that the police officers called him up and he's standing with his hands on the car. Is it that where it started, or there was something else before that point?
Some years ago, it had an incident where, well, I didn't got that one on video, where he was, where incident happened, and he took out his phone, and he was videotaping the officers and them beating his friend, right? And the officer walk up to him, take away the cell phone and pelt it in the bush, and spread him out of the van, search him down, you know, and hit him a cuff to the head and crack his gun in his face.
Wow. So that was a few years ago.
That was a few years ago.
Okay. All right. So this incident, you believe, is like a follow-up from what transpired a few years ago, a continuation, though, of what happened a few years ago.
I want to believe because when I did my own research, I saw that the previous officer and the one that committed the act on Juve morning, they are friends.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. So they did have history. They have some counteraction in the past. So let's start back again from this particular incident. Start over again.
Right. So on Thursday, before Carnival Friday, they spread him out on the van, they search him down, they ask him his information as to where he lived.
Right.
He provided them with that, and then one of the officers took a picture of him. Took out his cell phone and took a picture of him. So the one of the other fellas that he was there with videotaped the whole thing.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
And sent it to his phone. So when he reached home, he showed it to me, right?
Right.
And then he started telling me, he said, Mommy, every time these officers see me, today is not the first day, but every time they see me, they will stop me and search me down, right? And tell me all kind of degrading things.
Right.
Right? So when I saw that, I look at that video about countless times. I had a sleepless night, right? And he keeps saying how the officers and them telling him how they hear he in a gang and he in the Muslim gang and all kind of stories they're making up. So he said, Mommy, I'm not in no gang. How them could tell me I'm in a gang? So I keep watching the video. So I got up Monday morning and I decided to go to the Sandy Grande police station to speak to somebody, the person in charge of the station, to make a complaint and to find out why every time they see him on the street, they have to search him and tell him he's in a gang. So I was unfortunate to meet any one of the seniors. Normally, when you go to the station of lately, they just deny you seeing these seniors, right?
Okay.
So I decided, when they told me, well, I can't speak to any of the seniors, I said, but, I said that's not right. I need to find out what's going on. You understand? So I decided to, on my way to work, to go to, I work in Port of Spain, right? Port of Spain Hospital. So on my way to work, there's a place where you can go and make a complaint, like professional standard of bureau. Right? So I went there and I spoke with an officer there. I laid my complaint. He take my report and he told me I have to follow protocol. I would have to come back to Sandy Grande station, demand that I speak to the senior and lay my complaint. And if anything doesn't happen, come back to them.
Right. And hold on.
Right?
So hold on. So that is before they actually did anything. That is just to stop them from stopping him and frisking him every time they see him.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So you did follow up because it's annoying. The kid is just trying to be a kid as far as you know. And every time he goes out, the police officers are pulling him over and stopping him and frisking him. So you obviously wanted that to stop. So go ahead. Yes.
Right. So then the fact that they said that he was in a gang. Now, Junior, I'm being honest with you. I'm a working mother. I don't be around to monitor my kids.
Right.
Right. So even if he's in a gang, I say I would want to know. So even if it's that, I would know how to treat with that situation.
Right.
Right. Because I raise up no gangster in my house.
Okay.
Right. So the fact that they keep telling me he's in a gang, I gave it the benefit of the doubt and I decided, well, all right. I say, well, I'm going to find out what they know that I don't know so I can deal with the situation.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So when I went back, I spoke to the person in charge of CID, right? Because the CID would deal with all them gang-related stuff, right?
Right.
So I spoke to one of the officers. I think his name, but I don't think, am I permitted to call his name?
You could call the officer name. You spoke to him. There's no lie in that.
Right. I spoke with Officer Mirage, right? And I told them, I said, well, here what's going on. Every time the police and them see my son, they're searching him, telling him what kind of hurtful things, and they're saying that he's in a gang, right? And one of the officers took his picture. So I want to know why they take the picture and why they keep telling him he's in a gang. I do not know. If you all could provide that information for me, I could work together with you all to deal with the situation.
Right.
He watched me and he smiled. He took my name, my contact number, and my son's name, and he told me he will give me a call. He never did. Right? So I said, okay. Then he said, no, after he took my name and the information, he said, well, it's carnival time and he don't have time, they're busy in meetings and stuff. So I said, okay, I will come back after the carnival season is over.
Right.
Right? So on Monday morning, Carnival Monday morning, which is Juve morning.
Yes.
Right? My son went down to Sandy Grande for the Juve together with a few cousins of mine and neighbors, right? And the people who he working with, because he now get a little work and he started working with them. So they went down as a group, right? So while I home now, I drop to sleep and I wake up about minutes to 4 to pray. And then as I finish prayer, I just say, look, you see this thing? Let me go down the road. Because this picture thing keep, in my mind. Why would the police take your picture?
Right.
You understand?
Yes.
So when I'm going down the road now, I hang in with them. When he saw me, he came forward, right? And he said, Mom, you come to monitor me. And we both laugh. Right. So I didn't fluster him because remember, he's a young man. He would want to, because he's 19 years, he will want to, dance and enjoy himself with his little friends. And I didn't want him to feel that, I'm all up in his space, as the young people would say.
Right.
So while we were standing there, I saw a line of police officers walk up the street. They stayed a little while, and they're doing their patrols, right?
Right.
And then they came back down. And remember, I'm not standing far away.
Okay.
I'm a few arms length away from him.
Right.
Right? So I saw a red-skinned tall officer came out of formation, right, walking towards the direction of my son, hitting a baton. He was holding the baton in his right hand, and he was hitting his left hand with the baton. So when I saw the officer break formation and he started walking in my son and his friend's direction, I drew a little closer and I was watching.
Right.
Then I saw the officer stretch out the baton and hit my son, the tip of the baton, straight to the throat.
Well, hold on, ma'am. Without your son doing anything whatsoever, the officer just broke formation and just go and hit your son in the throat with the baton in the head? I mean, hit your son with the baton in his throat?
Yes, Junior, that is exactly what I saw. So when I saw that, immediately, right, I ran up on them. I said, what did he do? What hit him for?
Right.
And with the same breath, the officer just hit him an baton in his stomach, pull him towards him and start to beat him on his head. And I start a ball and I trying to, to get in the middle. And before long, the officer pushed me away. And before, in a split second, my son was on the ground, surrounded by the officers, the other officer that was in formation. And Junior, it was baton and kick all over. And I am bawling and I am crying. And I said, what did he do? Why are you hitting him? What did he do? He was just standing there. Right? So when the officer hold me now and push me up, I said, I am his mother. And I saw what you did. The officer watched me in amazement, Junior.
Right.
Right? By this time now, I still bawling and I trying to get in, and the officer telling me that he will arrest me for obstructing police duty. And my child on the ground bawling, Mommy, help me. Mommy, help me. Mommy, I do nothing. Oh, God, Mommy. And he bawling on the ground. And these officers, and they beating him and kicking him. So there was a gentleman who saw what happened. And when they stopped beating him and they pick him up off the ground and they handcuff him, the gentleman walked round to the front of them. And this was his words. He said, well, a real wicked officer. The boy stand up there doing nothing. And I see when they hit him. You understand? Junior, with a split second, they start a bull rag. The man hit the man some lash and they lock up the man too. Right?
But Mama,
so
Candice, I'm trying to understand this. That police officer had to be out of his mind, crazy, or just have some grudge, instant grudge for your son, because how or why would he just jump out at him? Were they exchanging words?
Well, I believe when he hit him in his throat, right, my son would have said something to him.
Right.
But remember, the noise was loud as carnival.
Yeah.
Right? So I would not have heard what it is he said, because if somebody hit you just like that, your reaction might be a curse word, or you might say, what are you hitting me so for? You understand? I didn't actually hear what my son said.
Right.
But all I saw was the battle to the throat, and I just danced across.
Right.
In a split second, because I was not far, Junior. I was not far.
Right.
And I saw what the officer did. But the officer being trained, I believe, Junior, that man, well, as the conversation go along, I will explain more to you, and the picture will come together, right?
Okay. Yeah.
After they beaten and they lock up my son and the other gentleman, they took them to the station. So I walk alongside them while they go into the station, right?
Uh-huh.
So when they went into the station, I walked straight into the station. There's a glass over the charge room desk. So they frisk him, they hand me his cell phone, they hand me his wallet, right? That is all I see they take out from him and the other young man. I can't remember what it is. What it is. Again, call. All right. Yeah. I can't, Jabari. Right. So I can't remember what it is they had on him.
Right.
The other gentleman had on him.
Hold on. Stick another pin right there. Did he sustain any physical injuries as a result of the beating?
Well, Junior, let me tell you this. So it's when he come now, they hold him in the cell for 4 days. I was there every day.
Uh-huh.
Trying to find out what taken place and why they have him there so long, right?
Uh-huh.
So the officer then telling me that they cannot give me any information. I will have to leave the station and come back after the festival was over, right, to get any information. So, Junior, I did not leave. I waited until the festival was over to go back to get information, right? So when I went back to the station, only to find out that my son was being charged for resisting arrest, and having a weapon on him.
Okay. Now we get down to it.
Right? So having a weapon on him.
Right.
Yeah, right? So I started to quarrel. I said, having a weapon on him. I said, but when you searched him in front of me, because they searched them in the charge room in front of everybody, I did not see them pull out a weapon or anything else more than the cell phone and the wallet. Right? So I started to quarrel. I said, but that is wickedness. I said, can I call the officer name who did the act, who committed the act?
Yeah, you could call the officer name. There's no fault in that. He's an officer of the law in a public place.
Right. Right. So while my niece and my cousins, everybody came to the station, I did not know that is the said officer who have been harassing him all this time. So then when they told me his name, I said, but wait, that is the same name Jabari, my son, have been calling for me all along. So I said, but wait, I said, you have been harassing my son all along. Every time you see him on the streets, you're pulling him over, you're telling him all kind of hurtful things. And today you make your move, but you didn't know I was there, right? And I saw what you did. The officer sit down in front of the station on the stairs, and he watching me and he laughing and sending kissing me. So I started telling him, I said, God will punish you. I see what you do, and I will tell everybody what I see you do to my son. Right? So why is that there now? I'm trying to talk, I see one or two seniors. I'm trying to talk to them to tell them what it is I saw Officer Lamuel Cortez did to my son. And nobody wanted to take me on. I even saw the same officer who is in charge of the task force, right? That is Officer Marad. I said, I call out to him. I said, can I have a minute of your time, please? He watched me. He said, give him about an hour. Junior, when I went back, Officer Maraj was nowhere there, right? I said, okay, but I realized what's going on because I'm talking and I'm crying and I'm trying to tell everybody what it is I see. And it's like, nobody ain't taking me on. I said, okay. Junior, I went home with a heavy heart. My son stayed in there carnival Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday evening. they sent him before the magistrate court. Well, normally those kind of matters just go before a high court judge, right?
Right.
So my 19-year-old son did nothing, and I will say nothing because I saw what Officer Lamuel Cortez did to my son, and other people who were standing there saw what took place, right?
Okay, let's go back a bit. Let's go back a little bit. They charge him with having a weapon.
A knife.
Was it a firearm? A knife. Oh, so it wasn't a firearm.
No, it wasn't a firearm.
Oh, it was a knife.
Well, I will get to that part. It was a knife. Right?
Okay. Did he pull that knife out? Did he threaten anyone with the knife? Was it that the reason why the officer jumped at him or hit him?
No, he was just standing there with his friends, and he's the type of guy he can't really dance. So he just standing and just jibbing a little bit. And I standing not too far, Junior, and I was watching my son. Because remember, the spirit was heavy. And it just in my mind, why would they take a picture of him? And when I spoke to a friend of mine, she said, Candice, the only how they would take a picture of you is if they're marking you. Right? So when I left, so he started telling me when he came out now to the magistrate charge him for resisting arrest, where he didn't even have a chance to resist arrest, Junior, because from on site, as he get the battle to the throat, and I reached up on the officer, I didn't hear what he told the officer. The officer just hit him in his belly, bring him closer and sort of beat him in his head, and before long, he was in a circle being trampled on by the other officers that was in the formation.
Yes.
Right, so they form a circle around him, and he on the ground bawling, and I bawling, and I cannot help my child. And Junior, you know what's the sad part? When you would expect, let me say, the bandits and them to fight you and, get in a brawl with the bandits, it's the police that was doing unjust to my son, and I couldn't do anything about it, Junior. Junior, I had to stand up and watch these people beat my son. You hear what I'm telling you? And the reason why I am going all out, Junior, I know I wasn't drunk. I wasn't high on anything. I know what I saw.
Right.
I see it with my own two eyes. Junior, I see it with my own two eyes. And it keep playing on my mind, Junior. I keep playing. Every time I think back on the situation, and I saw when they pick him up off the ground and they handcuff him so tight. He started saying, Mommy, what is this too tight? And when I look at my son's eyes, he was with a blunt face, like, really, my mommy boy, why do? That was the look I got. You hear what I'm telling you, Junior? And that moment was so mind-blowing. It was so shocking. It's all kind of emotions just run through my mind, because in my mind I'm saying, but isn't the police supposed to protect and serve? Because I know what I saw Officer Lamuel Cortez did to my son. Right? So on Thursday, we had court. I had to take a lawyer for him. And the lawyer pleaded for bail and all of that. We got bail, right? So when I brought my son home, after he took a shower and he, eat and lie down, I decided to go in the room and have a talk with him, right?
Right.
And he said while he wasn't there, the officer that committed the act came in the cell, watching him and laughing, right? They keep coming and taunting him. So he said later on in the evening now, he and the other people who was arrested there, they started talking and, trying to make friends with each other and talking and thing. And one of the fellas told him, "You is Jabari?" He said, "Yes, I'm Jabari." He said, "Boy, what you coming here for?" He said, "Well, they say resisting arrest and I had a weapon." He said, "What?" He said, "No." He said, "You were supposed to get a gun." He said, "A gun?" He said, "But I had no gun." He said, "Yes." He said, he heard Officer Lamuel Cortez and the other officers, some of the officers in the task force, talking and saying, "Jabari outside there in the Juve, he's surely getting this gun tonight." He said that's what the gentleman that was locked up before him heard them saying. Right? He said, "What?" He said he get frightened. He said, Mommy, I get frightened when I hear that. He said, he didn't say nothing. Then after now, Officer Lamuel Cortez came in by the cell and tell him, he said, I must kill you. And he went on to tell him that he just dreamed himself running down my son to kill him. That's what my son told me when he came out. Right? So he went on to tell me, he said, Mommy, you know, if you wasn't there and you didn't get on how you get on, I would already get a gun. He said, and while I was there, Mommy, my throat was hurting me, my groins was hurting me, all over my body was hurting me. And I asked them to carry me to the hospital. And they keep telling me, yeah, just now. He said, Mommy, they carry everybody else to the hospital except me. Junior, why you think they did that?
Wow, he's marked.
Now hear me, I want to believe, right? I'm not supposed to talk this part because the lawyer tell me kind of keep this part kind of quiet.
If you don't talk it, don't talk it, because once you get out here, it goes out to the world. So anything that you're not supposed to say, don't say it.
But what I'm saying, right? Mm-hmm. Why deny him going to seek medical attention? Because all they send everybody else, they send everybody that was in the cell that wanted to go to seek medical attention, and they left him there. Right. So he wasn't paying for 4 days, right? So he went on to tell me, he said, Mommy, and you know, the same fella who told me that they had a gun for me, he said, you know, they planned that gun on that same fella. When the fella went before the magistrate, he didn't even know what was his charges. They read out the charges saying they find him with a gun and ammunition. He said when the boy came back in his cell, the boy was crying. He said, Mommy, I help him cry too.
Right.
So it seems as though, Junior, and listen to me, a lot of people in the area where I live and in Sandy Grande have been complaining about that same Officer Lamuel Cortez and other officers of the task force, right? Where they're beating them, giving them gun and ammunition. So when all of this take place with me, and I tried to get onto you and I wasn't getting onto you, I tried another radio station, I wasn't getting onto them. While I was busy trying to upload my video on Facebook, another mother was telling her story of what that same officer did to her son.
Right.
When I saw it on TikTok, I messaged the woman, right? And she messaged me back. Now, she didn't mention his name because she wasn't there. Right. Is what her son was telling her. She had to allege, right? And she went on to say in the video where her son was telling her how the incident happened and what they did to him. And I will share the video with you, Junior, in a while.
Okay.
Where they beat him, they torture him, they tase him, they pepper spray him, they bust his face, they broke his tooth, they lock him up in the station. Other people start telling me how they give him gun and all kind of thing. Junior, this officer is unruly. Even some of the officers in Grande Station talking about him.
Right. Candice, let me ask you a question. When they did your son, in fact, had a knife on him when they searched him?
He had no knife.
So you
say had no knife.
So it's alleged that the knife was planted on him as well?
Well, I didn't see any knife, so I don't know if they give him a knife. But when they search him in the charge room, remember, in the middle of the charge room, over the desk, they have a clear glass. Like they had put up that for during the COVID time. So they could see when they come to make a report, you know. So it was visible. It had no paper stick up on the glass. So I was up front and center looking at them searching him. And all I see they take out from my son and the other gentleman was the other gentleman's belonging, where he got charged for obstruction of police duties and resisting arrest, right? That's what the other gentleman get charged with. Right. And my son get charged for resisting arrest and having a weapon, a knife on him. But I didn't see them take out no knife on him, Junior. And I asked the officer, I said, that is all you get on him? The officer did not answer me. Right? And I'm talking about the same officer we beat him, Right. I said, so all right, That is all I get on him. On him, he didn't answer me. He said, ma'am, come out of the station. Stop making noise in the station before we arrest you. Right? Of course, I started to open up my mouth because what you arresting him for? And I started telling him, I said, I see what you do. I saw you hit my son. You set up that. No, let me tell you something, Junior. Mm-hmm. This officer planned that. Right? The fact that he braced my son up, oppose him and start, the fight with him, he know very well the other officers behind him will not ask questions. They will just jump in and start to beat people because I've seen it happen in previous times.
Yes.
Right? So he orchestrated that whole plan. But the plan was that night, right? No, I didn't know about the gun part. Is when my son went in there and he was talking to the other fellow who was locked up some days before Carnival. The other fellow heard and told him about the gun part, where they hear him saying that, where he heard the officers saying that they would have put a gun on my son. Right? So my son said, Mommy, well, it's a good thing this happened the way it happened and you was there. Because remember, I make real noise, a real quarrel, a real cry, a real ball. So that kind of deterred the officers and them from putting a gun on him. Because if he was by himself, Junior, and they didn't lock him up, he was surely getting that gun.
Wow. Let me just update.
And that is what that officer,
go ahead.
That is what that officer accustomed doing to people, because a lot of young people coming out and complaining, and Junior, everybody can't lie on you.
Right. But let me ask you this, Candace. What about the upper brass of the police service? What about the hierarchy of the police service?
Well, all right. So when I decided to go live, I didn't know much about the TikTok. So somebody showed me, they say, well, we'll get more views on TikTok because everybody on TikTok. When I post up a video on TikTok, in about a day and a half, it went real viral. And then while I was home the Saturday, I saw a police car pull up in front of my house, right? I posted up that video on TikTok too, where the senior superintendent of the Sandy Grande police station sent out one of his officers telling me that he saw a video on social media and they come to find out about the video.
Right.
So I looked at them, I said, no. I said, oh, you're no coming. I said, I came to Sandy Grande station and I tried to speak to the seniors, all they deny me. I tried to tell anybody in front of the station there the morning when it happened, nobody took me on. Nobody wanted to hear me. All they watched me like if I was crazy. All they even run me out of the station. Now when the video gone viral and the whole of Trinidad and Tobago and all of us had a buzz about it because I asked for help because I don't know what to do.
Right.
Right? And Gina, let me tell you something. That same officer and another officer, it is alleged, I wasn't there. They are saying that these two officers is responsible for a young man getting his death in his home somewhere in either October or November last year.
Right. Well, that's alleged. That's alleged. There's no way we could independently confirm that.
Right. So when I hear that now, Junior, I started to get frightened because remember I come up on social media and I call the officer name because that is his name and I tell the public what it is I saw he did to my son.
Right.
Right?
So unequivocally, you saw with your own two eyes this officer Cortez hit your son. You saw at that point in time it was unprovoked. From your vantage point, your son didn't say or do anything that warrant his arrest. Nevertheless, he was arrested, beaten in front of you, taken into the police station. You saw all of this stuff happen. No one told you this. This is what you saw with your own two eyes, correct?
Junior, I was on spot. I was right there. I swear on my life, Junior, I was right there. It have people who could say that they saw me there. It have people who saw the officer commit the act. And there is cameras in the whole of Sandy Grande on the main road. And I am sure if they pull the footage, because I've been asking them to pull that footage and see what took place.
Right. Right. Did anybody else capture footage? Because I know if something like that happening, capturing footage is the last thing you want to do. You don't want to be standing there watching people kick up your son. So of course you wouldn't capture that. You didn't capture that. Did anybody else get footage?
I don't know. I didn't have the strength to do it. I don't know if anybody else get footage. Right. And if anybody had gotten any footage, it will have done be out there because everything is social media, right? And I keep checking on the social media to see if anybody would have put out any footage. I didn't see anything.
Right.
So let me go on now. So after I tell the officer I don't want to speak to anybody at the Sandy Grande police station because I am annoyed and I'm afraid of them now because, come on, I've been since Thursday, since last week Friday, I come to all deny me. Now the incident happened. Now come to all and I'm trying to talk. Nobody ain't taking me on. Now the video going viral and I am asking the commissioner of police to step in. I am asking the people in authority to step in and deal with this matter because that was police brutality.
Yes.
Then they decided to send. Then the inspector of the station, Sandy Grande station, decided to send somebody to my house. So I tell them no, I don't want to talk with them. So this Sunday, when I took my son to seek medical attention, because he was complaining about pain in the groin and the headache wouldn't go away and back pains, I took him to the Sandy Grande hospital. They examined him, but they said they didn't see no blue and black marks because from then to now, the marks and them would have left, right? So they give him painkillers for the pain. He's still complaining with the pain. I intend to, carry him to get some more follow-up to do some blood work to make sure, he no clot blood settle nowhere.
Right.
So whilst I was seeking medical attention, I got a phone call. No, they came, Professional Standard of Bureau came to my home. Of course, I wasn't there. So they asked the neighbors and the neighbors sent them down by my sister. So my sister called and she said, Candice, some police looking for you. I said, find out where they are from. And then when she called them back, they told her, well, all right, that is Standard of Bureau. And they too saw the video.
Okay.
And they come to find out. So I told them where I was, and they came, they spoke with me, and yesterday morning they sent a car to pick us up at home here.
Right.
And they took us to Port of Spain in the head office, and they took statements from myself and my son.
And Standard of Bureau, so everyone have clarity, those are the Community Affairs Department that look into this type of things, correct?
Right. So that is police investigating police.
Right. Okay. All right.
Right. So we just sit down here on our waiting game, waiting to find out what is the next step. Right. But my thing is this, Junior. Right now, me and my son, we are afraid because this officer, he is like a loose cannon because I have friends at the Sandy Grande station as well.
Right.
And some of them are displeased with the officer, what he did. And they would complain to me about him. Right. And as a matter of fact, a friend of mine, she called me early this morning and she told me that I am to be careful with that officer. And I am not to allow my son to go anywhere in the night. If he has to go to work during the day, make sure he goes straight to work and come back home because the officer said that I going on social media and opening up my mouth and talking a sort of foolishness and calling up anybody use obscene language. That's what she told me he was saying. And just now, I will be on social media holding my head and bawling for my son.
So somebody told you that he said that?
An officer, one of my friends that working in Grande Station. I would not call her name because, they would want to.
Yeah.
Right. My personal friend called me and they don't know that this young lady and I are friends.
Wow. So your son need protection right now. Both you and your son need protection right now.
Yeah.
Do you think by continue to go on social media, we're here right now, we have thousands of people watching, that might even antagonize the situation even more?
Junior, I reached the point that I am not going to sit down here and be intimidated by that officer or be bullied.
Right.
Right. Although I'm afraid, I am afraid for myself and my son, but I have to talk and I have to tell somebody. And if I have to reach in front of the commissioner's office or in front of the prime minister's office to lay my complaint to get help, I am going to do so.
Right.
Enough is enough. Officer, Junior, how much abuse my son could take?
True.
Right? And the both officers, they are friends. So it's like, because when the incident happened with the first officer, I went on social media and I opened up my mouth. I went to police complaints. They took statements, and all of a sudden I saw they move him out of Sandy Grandy. That the first officer.
Right.
Right. And on Juve morning, I saw the both of them in Grandy stand up talking. The officer who committed the act Juve morning and the one who committed the act a couple of years ago. So then I put the dots together. I say, but the two of them is friends. I'm talking about after before.
Right.
I connected. I said, well, how come the both of them? But then I remember when I put the first one, that is what's his name, Akeem Blake, on social media, the lawyer who wrote me a lawyer letter threatening to sue me and whatever, is the uncle or the cousin of the one that committed the act. So when that uncle too is a police officer. So when I connect the dots, I say, oh, all of them they're in one. You understand?
Yeah.
So I believe it's a kind of victimized kind of thing. But what I'm saying is, this is a young man. You tie up this child in this system. He's only 19 years. The child ain't even spread his wings yet. You give him a case, dirty his character, and you going about your life happy and comfortable, knowing in your heart you set up the child. You commit your act and you're hiding behind the police service. And then you're going in the court and swearing on the Bible, giving false evidence on people's children. Why must you do that? The officers of Trinidad and Tobago is to protect and serve. And I'm not mad. I saw what Officer Lamiel Cortez did to my son. And other people saw it too. And I will tell any and everybody who wants to listen, and I have to get justice for my son. Because this thing keeps repeating in my mind, Junior, over and over and over and over and over, and it's nerve-wracking to me.
Yes. Yes.
I haven't slept.
Yeah.
I haven't slept good since that happened because, and then my son is a very quiet fella. He don't talk much, but when he opens his mouth to talk, everybody listens, right? And when he came out and he told me the experience and what the gentleman said, when the fella told him in the prison, Junior, my belly boil. Because when he tell me, the fella tell him they was to give him a gun, I remember my neighbor's son, he complained and said that same Lamiel Cortez lock him up, carry him down in the station, and the next thing he know, he was, before the magistrate, charged for arms and ammunition. And he went down to the prison. He must stay in the prison over 2 months and something before he could have get bail.
Right. Let's stick a pin right there, because I want to make some clarification, not clarification, but I just have to say this for the record, that we do believe and understand, and we are calling on the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service to respond to this situation and look seriously into the situation right here. These allegations are damning allegations against these police officers. No, this is no way saying that all the police officers of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is bad police officers. But sometimes when you have the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 5 bad ones, that does make the whole thing look bad, right? So we're calling on the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service to look seriously into this, and I'm happy that you got the at least the nod from the hierarchy that is going to investigate them. Hopefully they do a thorough investigation, because it's not I don't know how I would be able to sleep if I know my son is outside or have to go outside, and then the police officers who supposed to protect and serve are sending some allegations, allegedly sending allegations to him about his demise. So we're calling on the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service to take a serious look into this. We have the mother having some sleepless nights over this, and nobody wants to be in that position. All right, so we're calling on the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service to please come out and clarify this, deal with the situation here, so this mother, Candice, and no parent whatsoever, whether it's in Trinidad, Grenada, or wherever, has to go through a situation like this. All right? Yeah, Candice.
Junior, can I say something?
Yes.
Junior, the amount of people I told about this and they wanted to come on this live. It's just that, this happened all of us, just in a quick moment when you called me.
Right.
But let me tell you something, the amount of people want to come out and say what that officer did to them young people, right? The amount of mothers want to come out and complain on that officers, it ain't funny. Everybody can't lie on you alone. You have to be doing something. I mean, they say, I know, Junior, there are people who would just be doing wrong and, the person catch them with gun and marijuana and whatever. But everybody, your name buzzing all over Sandy Grande, even the officers and the administration complaining about him. And everybody cannot lie on this officer.
Right.
They are trained. Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, the officers are trained to go around to question people doing investigation, and upon investigation, I am sure, Junior, they will come up with solutions. They will sum up the maths and realize something is wrong. Everybody can complain on you alone. But it has the others too who doing foolishness there. But his name alone mostly calling for setting up people, putting gun on them, giving them weed. There was a young lady who told me he wanted to be with her. She wanted to be on the live too. Right? And because she didn't give in to him, he gave her 2 cases. Why don't she have 2 cases with him before the court?
Well, that's alleged there, because that's hearsay. Somebody told you that. That's not her telling her story.
Yeah, she wanted to be here too, but she, the timing. But she wanted to tell her story too. And a lot of people wanted to tell the story as well. Everybody can lie on this officer, Junior, and I see it for myself. I see what the man do, my son. I see it. God hear me. And I felt so hurt I couldn't save him, Junior.
Wow.
This is like a nightmare for me. A nightmare, and I could imagine how he felt.
Yes. Yes.
That is wrong. That is wrong. The police is supposed to protect and serve. Again, I keep saying not all officers are bad. There are good officers, but it's the ones like them that make the whole bunch of grapes look bad.
Yeah. Yes. Well, Candice, listen.
I really hope that I get justice.
Yes.
And I really want this to reach in front of the commissioner of police. You understand? So that she could intervene and deal with this. Because let me tell you, if this thing died, I know they're coming behind him again and they will come for me. They come in, because I was warned there. I was warned. So now I am between a rock and a hard place. You understand? Because I come out and talk, but here we're going on, Junior. I'm a praying woman, and I believe in God. If God can bring me through it, He will bring me through it. I will continue to talk and tell everybody what I saw Lamuel Cortez did to my son in front of my eyes. And that is all I have to say, Junior.
Right. We're going to continue to update Candice. And again, we urging and calling on the police service, the investigators, to take a serious look. And I'm happy that they are taking at least the first step. That is the first step in trying to find answers. Hopefully, it's a serious step, and they take care of these police officers, these rogue police officers who kind of want to do their own thing and hide behind the badge of the police service. Yeah. But we're going to continue to follow up. We're going to continue to follow up with you, Candice, and we'll update our audience on it as well. Stay safe, and to your son as well. All right?
Okay.
We'll stay in touch.
Expect a call from me on Thursday morning.
Thursday morning. Absolutely. Well, we're here. Candice, you know, we're always here. You have all my numbers. If you need to reach me at any point in time, you could do so. All right?
Right.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Candice.
Thank you, Jeanette, and for listening. Okay, bye-bye.
All right. Thank you so much. Guys, we're going to open up the phone lines and get your view on it. There are still a lot of people on the line that wants to call in. We'll take your call, 718-701-5720, right after this commercial break. Don't move.
Special privilege of sampling the Golden Jubilee edition of the limited edition spice rum from the Grenada distillers, and I must say it's something that you should try. It is authentically Grenadian, but from the flavors to the aromas to the overall taste, the blend is great. It's light, it's golden like the Golden Jubilee, and I think you can make any collector's shelves anywhere in the world. Hats off to the Grenada distillers.
I want you folks to play these 3 games from the NLA. Daily pick 3 cash flow and play with. You will be supporting sports and culture, nation building and our future. So go out and play, folks, make it a must. You will see what the National Lottery is doing for us. When you play pick 3 cash flow and play with, the NLA will support you all the way.
Starting September 30th, Monday to Friday, these 3 games will be drawn mid-morning, 9:45 a.m., midday, 12:45 p.m., and evenings, 7:45 p.m. The National Lotteries, supporting sports, culture, and nation building.
Sandy Manite.
All right, guys, let's open up the phone lines right now. 718-701-5720. Give us a call. And let's talk about this. Let's talk about the situation, guys. And, you know, this situation about police brutality, it's not isolated to Jamaica or Trinidad and Tobago or St. Vincent or Grenada. It is widespread, right? In many, many instances, guys, most of the time when we talk about this type of story, you find certain police officers, and again, these are allegations, that serious allegations that have been made against these police officers. But these police officers are literally hiding. They're like Bajan police officer. They're badman police. They're hiding behind the badge, and instead of their job to protect and serve, they are doing completely the opposite. Now, I can understand the trauma that this mother is going through, right? She's frantic because of the threats that her own son is getting. So, listen, guys, it's a serious, serious, serious matter. And I really hope that the Internal Affairs Department of the Police Service take a serious look into it and deal with this immediately. Deal with this immediately. We have a young man, I remember, this young man and his mom been on the program from since he was like about 6 or 7. So that was about 8 at least. So it's not the first time I had interaction with this family from since he was getting, bad up in school, in high school. I followed this family. And here she's back. He's now a 19-year-old, and he's facing these traumatic and sad situation in his life. So give us a call, guys. If you are facing this type of situation, it may not be the same police officer. It may be a different situation. Give us a call. Let us talk. The number you call, 718-701-5720. That's the number that you get in on the inside. All right. Someone sent me a video there, but that's unrelated to that. And also, guys, if you have a copy of that video, and I believe that it would aid in finding out exactly what happened, not to post on social media to sensationalize the thing. Now we don't want that. We want to understand what happened, and someone in Trinidad and Tobago may have a video footage that they could have, that her lawyers could get a hold of, and then so that it could build a better case for her. You may want to contact me, and I'll put you in touch with the mother, and so that they would have this evidence, this solid evidence that would help them out in court. And I know it will go there because that information, they're saying that it's not available right now. So that's going to be some strong and solid information for the family. All right. Again, 718-701-5720 if you want to get in on the inside. Let's take another commercial break and come back with your phone calls.
You ready for an exhilarating adventure? Then look no further than Ride Excursions and Tours. Get ready to explore the great outdoors like never before with our powerful e-bikes. Discover breathtaking sightseeing tours around the island. Feel the wind in your hair and experience nature in its purest form. Now, whether you're a seasoned rider or a beginner, our e-bikes are perfect for everyone. Call us at 473-422-1011 to book your excursion or visit ridersebikes.com. That's ridersebike.com to reserve your spot. Unleash your adventurous spirit with Ride Excursions and Tours, where every journey becomes an unforgettable adventure.
The Ministry of Tourism and Economic Development and the Grenada Tourism Authority extend a warm welcome to visitors and returning nationals visiting for Carnival and summer vacation. We do hope you enjoy your stay with us, and we invite you to return with friends and family to celebrate our 50th anniversary of independence on 7th February 2024. Tourism is my business, your business, our business.
Planning and Development Authority of Grenada, PDA, is enforcing regulations to curb illegal, disorderly, and unauthorized development in several locations throughout the state of Grenada. The authority is concerned that structures mainly associated with vending are negatively impacting the environment, has undesirable public health and sanitation consequences, present obstructions to vehicle and pedestrian traffic, can become projectiles during adverse weather conditions, and generally affect the aesthetics of the nation. The PDA will work along with stakeholder ministries and institutions to effect the demolition, removal, and disposal of structures which fall in the category of illegal and disorderly development, commencing January 2024. In this regard, persons who vend in or occupy such illegal structures are advised to secure their personal belongings and have the structures removed ahead of the planned PDA demolition operations. These actions of the PDA have become necessary to safeguard and protect public health and the environment, ensure the safety and well-being of all citizens and visitors, discourage any future disorderly construction, and encourage compliance to regulations pertaining to physical development in the state of Grenada. This is a message from the Planning and Development Authority of Grenada.
Yes, so look, I just got a video from someone from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. They just sent me this video. And I remember I told you that this is not isolated to Trinidad or Grenada or Jamaica. This brother sent me this video that I'm going to ingest into the system, and probably post out a little bit later. But it's showing a person who he said is a police officer, currently in plainclothes, beating up on his son, boxing him up and throwing missiles behind him. A police officer. He said that particular police officer was then promoted to inspector after all of that happened. Wow. All right, so we'll put that out there as well. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, that's where that happened. Moishe Rush is saying that even with the evidence, you can't win. You can't win in Trinidad and Tobago with the police. Well, listen, at least I saw that the Internal Affairs, hopefully they're serious looking into this matter. They came and they spoke to the mom. So hopefully they're taking some serious look into it, because I don't think any police officer that is a good police officer want to know or hear about bad police officers in their midst, because it makes them look bad as well. So that's why I think that it should be to their best interest that they weed out all of the bad ones, the horrible ones. I mean, the horrible ones. Get them out of the service. All right? Guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of our program today. I promise you I will keep you updated on this story and keep in touch with Candace and provide whatever sort of service we could provide from our end. Definitely, you know, if it gets worse, we may advise her to move out of that jurisdiction or that area in particular. I don't know how worse she could get than what she's hearing there right now. But Candace is a praying woman, as she said. Hopefully things work out for her as soon as possible. Yeah. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of our program today. On behalf of all of our production team here at RideAlong Live, our senior executive producer, Lois JJ, our moderators, Kibbs, Gail, and everyone on Team RideAlong, we say thank you so much. Before I go, I must invite you guys again to jump on the Riders Excursion this Sunday, guys, right in St. George. So if you want to be a part of this excursion, it's an exciting ride through the inside of St. George, guys. You will absolutely love it. Get the family, get the friends, get the groups out, and book your excursion for this Sunday. It's e-bike, or they say e-bike, e-mountain bike, in the parish of St. George. To book, you go into the kiosk located inside the Esplanade Mall, kiosk number 3, and book right there. Or you can go on the website at ridersebike.com. That's riders, R-Y-D-E-R-S, ebike.com. I'll put it up on the screen for you. You could book that way. Or you could call this number right now, 473-422-1011. You can call it now or anytime tomorrow. Call and book for your next excursion. Ride Excursion and Tours. That's something definitely you have to do if you're ever in Grenada, right? Inside the Esplanade Mall, kiosk number 3, that's where you could find the Ride Excursion team. Go and book your next excursion. And every Sunday, guys, every Sunday we're in a different parish, we're in a different place. But if you have a group, if you have a family, a church group, what have you, and you want to join in, you want to create your own excursion with your own guide tour, we could provide that for you as well. The number again to call is 473-422-1011. That's 473-422-1011. Join the Riders family. Catch you guys again tomorrow, guys. Peace out and good night. Don't forget also, before I go, if you want to advertise, if you have a business and you want to advertise on RideAlong Live, give us a call right now at 718-701-5720. It costs nothing to advertise. It pays to advertise. Advertise
with us and reach millions daily, weekly, monthly. Yeah, over 10 million per month. It pays to advertise with us. Reach more and let us send your business viral. Advertise with us and reach more.
Special privilege of sampling the Golden Jubilee edition of the limited edition spice rum from the Grenada distillers, and I must say it's something that you should try. It is authentically Grenadian, but from the flavors to the aromas to the overall taste, the blend is great. It's light, it's golden like the Golden Jubilee, and I think you can make any collector's shelves anywhere in the world. Hats off to the Grenada distillers.
Don't forget, guys, if you're flying to the Caribbean, or anywhere in the world, Grenada, yeah, you want to jump on a JetBlue, yeah. JetBlue now have 2 non-stop flights from JFK to Grenada. Low fares into Grenada. In fact, you could fly into New York from Grenada in the morning time and then go back in the evening. Yeah. Fly JetBlue. Go to jetblue.com. That's jetblue.com.